Enough with the talk. It's time to throw some leather.
An electric atmosphere in Las Vegas.
Welcome to Cardiff, Wales.
In the great fight city of Brooklyn, they are throwing thunderous blows.
We welcome you to Staples Center in Los Angeles.
A slugfest in San Antonio. And that is it. What a right hand.
It's our main event.
Showtime!
Emanates from Big D, Dallas, Texas. We are at the Star, the headquarters of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, the 5-time Super Bowl champions. What a facility, Jerry's World indeed. But on Saturday night, it's going to become Errol Spence's world. The fighter born in New York but raised just outside of Dallas in DeSoto will make the second defense of his welterweight crown a homecoming of sorts for the undefeated Errol the Truth Spence, as he will make a mandatory title defense against a 22-year-old unheralded Mexican fighter by the name of Carlos Ocampo, not only fighting for a championship for the first time in his career, but fighting outside of his native Mexico for the first time, and he is indeed a prohibitive underdog. But that's not all. We have a triple header in Tree City. Well, it's morphing into 3 City. We're in Frisco, Texas. Look it up, my friends. We've got Danny Roman making the second title defense of his 122-pound crown against the double tough Moises Flores, and we're going to kick off our triple header at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific, Saturday night with a barn burner at junior welterweight, the snake-bitten, the hard luck Adrian Granados. Well, he gets another chance to prove that he belongs with the big boys in his division as he takes on Javier Fortuna. That fight promises to be a thriller. So I'm joined by the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, who dressed for the occasion, all black in this stifling Texas heat. But we're going to heat things up with your analysis in a few moments.
Sure.
Also going to be joined by Hall of Famer Steve Farhood. He is interviewing the fighters on stage following the official weigh-in for our triple header. But right now, let's let you take a listen and a peek at what transpired at the press conference yesterday for Errol Spence versus Carlos Ocampo welterweight championship here in Dallas.
The undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world.
What separates Errol Spence from the rest?
Nice left uppercut, right hand to the body.
My grit and my hunger.
That killer instinct is instinctual.
I'm willing to do what it takes to win. Go ahead and turn the pressure up how you want.
He's a throwback. He dares to be great.
I'm going to break you down. I'm going to beat you.
He's athletic. He's powerful.
The world is seeing what I've been seeing. He got power like a 160-pounder.
If I have to go into the line then, or if I have to go into that fire, I wouldn't have gone into the fire too.
He wants to clean out the division. He wants to be the last man standing.
Carlos Ocampo, he's coming in here, he really doesn't have anything to lose. This is his first title fight, and I'm sure he's been training hard. He's 100% focused. I know he's coming. I know he's coming to fight, and he's going to be great.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters in Frisco, Texas. We are here at the Tostitos Championship Plaza as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for our big night of action coming your way tomorrow night right here at the Ford Center. All of our action brought to you courtesy of TGB Promotions and Showtime, sponsored by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach, and Casa Noble Tequila, the noble pursuit. Well, fans, our opening attraction on Showtime Championship Boxing is presented in association with Samson Boxing and is featuring a 10-round special attraction in the super lightweight division. At this time, please welcome the boxers as they make their way to the stage. First, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a fan favorite and action fighter. With a record of 18 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws, he has 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Chicago by way of Cicero, Illinois, please welcome the exciting Adrian El Tigre Granados. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite his opponent to the stage at this time with a record of 33 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. He has 23 wins coming by way of knockout. From La Romana in the Dominican Republic, please welcome the former WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Javier El Abejon Fortuna. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to bring our fighters to the scale at this time. Weight limit for this fight, 140 pounds is the contract. First, ladies and gentlemen, once again, here is the popular and fierce contender, Adrian El Tigre Granados.
The hard luck kid, Granados. 5 of his 6 losses have been by split or majority decision, coming off a unanimous decision loss against
139 3/4 for
Sean
Adrian
Porter.
Granados.
And he comes in
139 3/4
at 139 3/4 pounds.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, his opponent, the former world champion, currently ranked the number 4 lightweight in the world, Javier El Abejon Fortuna. $139 3/4 for Javier Fortuna, same as his opponent. 139 3/4 pounds. We have a fight opening on the Showtime Championship Boxing Super Lightweight Special Attraction. We'll have our fighters face off, square off, photo opportunity. Following that, we will have a brief interview by Showtime's Hall of Fame broadcaster, Steve Farhood.
Javier Fortuna gave Robert Easter Jr. all he could handle in a controversial defeat in his last outing. He was supposed to vie for Easter's championship, but Fortuna missed weight. That's not the first time that's happened, but he and Granados both come in at 139 3/4 pounds for our opener Saturday night as part of a triple header Showtime Championship Boxing in Dallas for the first time ever. So both Granados and Fortuna looking to get back on the winning track after tough losses in their last outings, but 2 guys who always bring it. It promises to be a barn burner. And junior welterweight, Granados' best weight, he says. Fortuna coming up in weight.
Straight ahead. So watching you stare out with him, I see that you're the bigger guy. Adrian Granados fights guys when he's the bigger guy. What's this all about?
Well, yeah, no, finally, you know, I got a good fight at the weight class that I've been wanting to fight at. Been waiting for a fight at 140 for 3 years now since my last big win at this weight. But, you know, there were opportunities that I couldn't turn down, and honestly, nobody really wanted no smoke with me at 140. But we're here now. Javier Fortuna is, you know, he's a former world champion, tough fighter. As far as trying to make me flinch, I thought that was cute. We're still going to fight tomorrow. It's going to be a great fight. I know we're both ready, and I know we're going to start off the Showtime telecast with a bang.
Being the bigger guy, does that mean that you're going to be in his face the whole fight? Is that the strategy?
We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll feel it out, see where it goes. You know, I'm prepared for whatever I got to do. If I got to box with him, if I got to bang with him. But, I mean, you already know I come with that heat, and it's going to be an exciting fight tomorrow.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Javier Fortuna, his trainer, Mr. Bermudez, will translate for us. Can you ask, you said to us, Hector, in the fighter meetings that Javier is pushing it, fighting at 140. Why take the fight at all then?
¿Qué tú crees de eso?
Nada, ya en este peso, nunca le digo que no a una pelea cuando mi promotor me llama. Peleo en cualquier peso que él me diga. Depende de la consideración que me haga mi entrenador, que es el que sabe de mí. Y en este peso voy a dejar un mandado para los que están supuestamente en este peso que dicen que son grandes.
Once the promoter calls and he gives him a name, he never says no. There was a few names that was mentioned before. He says, yes, I'll fight him. That dropped off. Another name, yes, I'll fight him. That dropped off, and then at 140, Granados, he said yes to him, and he's going to make a statement at 140 with Granados tomorrow.
One more quick question. We've seen Javier score amazing one-punch knockouts. We've also seen him box his way to win. Which are we going to see tomorrow? Which Javier are we going to see tomorrow?
Bueno, mañana en arriba del ring voy a dar mis decisiones de cómo le voy a poder ganar a Granado, porque para mí es uno de los boxeadores, no lo estoy disminuyendo, porque uno de los boxeadores que menos técnica y menos boxeo tiene que me voy a enfrentar. Es un gran boxeador, le tengo su respeto, que es un boxeador que viene hacia adelante, pero mi boxeo es demasiado alto delante de él.
He said, tomorrow I'll make that decision. There is a game plan, but tomorrow he'll make the decision. He's not disrespecting Granados. He know he can fight, but his technique, his style is superior to his.
We wish you luck. Good luck, Javier.
Javier Fortuna, former champion at 130, moving up, a southpaw sniper, a lethal left cross. Adrian Granado's gearbox does not contain reverse, so all the ingredients are there for a combustible confrontation to kick things off Saturday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Showtime Championship Boxing.
Here in attendance following our 3 Showtime televised weigh-ins. We're going to have the rest of our undercard weigh-ins, so don't go away. And at this time, we're going to switch. We're going to have our main event weigh-in followed by the WBA Super Bantamweight weigh-in, so don't go away. But ladies and gentlemen from the Tostitos Championship Plaza, here in the campus of the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters, it's showtime as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Showtime, sponsored by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach and Casa Noble Tequila, the noble pursuit. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome the boxers as they make their way to the stage. First, here is the undefeated challenger from Ensenada, Baja California, Mexico. His record, 22 wins, no losses, with 13 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ranked the IBF number 3 welterweight in the world. Here is the undefeated Carlos Ocampo.
The 22-year-old Carlos Ocampo looking to become the 6th welterweight champion born in Mexico.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the defending world champion, proudly making his homecoming performance with a tremendous record of 23 wins, no losses, and 20 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be making the second defense of his title. Here is the undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, the Truth, Errol Spence Jr.
Local favorite Errol Spence, a southpaw, looking to record his 11th consecutive knockout victory.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, first to the scale, the challenger making his first attempt at a world title in his U.S. debut. Please welcome the undefeated number 3 welterweight contender, Carlos Chema Ocampo. $146.5 pounds. 146.5 pounds for the challenger. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, one of the young stars of boxing today. One of the great undefeated pound-for-pound greats, the welterweight champion of the world, the truth, Errol Spence Jr. 146.75 pounds. 146.75 pounds for the champion Errol Spence Jr. Once again, we'll have our fighters face off. Following that, Steve Harhood will present a brief interview with both of the fighters.
Errol Spence Jr., the 4th champion from Dallas, not necessarily born in Big D. Spence born in New York, but joins fellow welterweight champion Curtis Coates, middleweight champ Quincy Taylor, and the man who was crowned 1 week ago, Maurice Hooker, at 140 pounds. Get rid of it.
Is the main event of the evening for the World Championship, the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World. Errol Spence making his homecoming, defending his title for the 2nd time. The first time he's been here in the Dallas area defending his world title. His challengers, the undefeated number 3 contender, Carlos Chema Ocampo. This is the final time they'll meet each other, see each other eye to eye, before they meet next in the center of the ring tomorrow night. Errol Spence Jr., Carlos Chema Ocampo, the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World.
All right, Carlos, Librado Andrade, former 168-pound contender, will translate for us. Can you ask Carlos, he's only 22 years old, yet he seems very unfazed by the moment. Doesn't look like he's affected by it. How does he keep his composure?
Eres bastante joven, es un momento grande, se ve que lo estás tomando todo bien. ¿Cómo describes este momento?
Pues es el momento con el que había soñado llegar a pelear por un título mundial y contra un gran rival como lo es Spence.
This is a great moment for me. I always dream having this moment, fighting for a world title, and it's great to be against a great champion like Errol Spence.
Can you ask Carlos exactly how is he going to shock the world and score this upset?
Exactamente cómo vas a poner en shock a todo el mundo con esta pelea.
Pues yo vine preparado para una sorpresa y mañana lo verán.
I came prepared to give everyone a surprise, and tomorrow you will see it.
We wish you luck. Good luck.
Te deseamos
Thank
todo
you,
lo mejor.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Errol, come on in. So the moment has come that you've dreamed about fighting at home. You've only fought once ever in Dallas before. You're human. This has the attention, the ticket sales, everything has to get to you a little bit. How do you keep your composure?
The task is hand. I know I got a tough competitor ready to take my title in my hometown, and I'm not willing to let that happen. I won't let my fans, let this dude upset me in front of my hometown fans. So I'm going to put on a great show, a great performance like you always see.
Has this been even bigger than in your wildest dreams?
Definitely. I was a little bit nervous when they said I'm fighting in front of 14,000 plus. I was like, is it going to sell good? But, now I see that I got the support of my hometown fans. I got the support of the state of Texas, of Dallas, and I love it.
And let's not forget, you're fighting in a division that's still as good as any division in boxing, probably better. What message do you want to send to Keith Thurman, to Sean Porter, to Danny Garcia, to Terrence Crawford?
I've been sending messages. I don't have to send any more messages. They know I'm the top welterweight in the division. I'm the best welterweight in the division. I'm the most feared welterweight in the division. And they got to send messages to me because I'm the top dog.
Good luck. Take care of business.
Thank you.
Don't miss our main event of the evening, 12 rounds IBF welterweight championship of the world. The classy Errol Spence Jr. versus the undefeated challenger, Carlos Ocampo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we present the weigh-in for the first of our world title fights tomorrow night, the WBA Super Bantamweight Championship of the World, scheduled 12 rounds of boxing, brought to you in association with Thompson Boxing Promotions. Please welcome the fighters as they make their way to the stage. First, the undefeated challenger from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. His record, 25 wins, no losses, 2 no contests with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the WBA #1 contender. Please welcome Moises Chucky Flores. And now his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, the defending champion from Los Angeles, making the second defense of his title. His record, 23-2-1 with 9 knockouts. Please welcome the WBA Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, the baby-faced assassin, Danny Roman. And now we bring our fighters to the scale. Weight limit on this fight, 122 pounds. Here he is, making his second attempt at a world title, the undefeated challenger, Moises Chucky Flores. $123.5 pounds for the challenger, Moises Flores. That's 1.5 pounds over the weight limit. He's going to have some time to try to come back and make that weight limit of 122. That's a 2-hour time limit.
We see why this was changed. The main event went first. They wanted to give Flores as much time as possible, I guess, to try to lose that extra pound and a half. But no go as of right now.
Champion of the world, the babyface assassin, the WBA Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Danny Roman. $121.75 pounds for the champion, Danny Roman. 121.75 pounds. We're going to have our fighters face off at this time. Once again, a photo opportunity followed by interviews. And gentlemen, it's 12 rounds of boxing. WBA Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. The champion, Danny Roman. The challenger, Moises Chucky Flores. Once again, Flores must return and make that 122-pound weight limit. He has 2 hours to come back and lose that 1.5 pounds for this title fight. Once again, here is Showtime's Hall of Fame broadcaster, Steve Farhood.
Nelson Lopez will translate from Team Flores. Can you ask Chucky, he's a pound and a half over. 1, will he try to lose the weight? And 2, how difficult will it be?
Tiene una libra y media arriba. ¿Va a tratar de perder la libra o va a pelear así? ¿Lo acepta?
No, la voy a perder.
He will lose the weight.
He has 2 hours. How much difficulty does he feel he'll have?
Tiene 2 horas. ¿Va a ser difícil?
No, no hemos trabajado hoy. Vamos a intentarlo y va a ser.
No problem. He's going to attempt and he'll make it.
Tell him just stand in the sun long enough, he'll lose weight. Good luck. Danny Roman will be with us in a second. Danny, good to see you again. You just did something that your opponent can't do, which is drink right now. What was your reaction when you heard he was a pound and a half over?
A little surprised, you know, because it's a championship fight. We always try to be on weight, try to be professional, but like he got 2 hours, and we'll see what happens from there.
Does the fact that he may or may not make weight change your mental approach to this fight in any way?
No. I trained with tougher guys, heavier than me, so I'm ready for anything that he brings with me.
We wish you a lot of luck. Thank you. Good luck, Eddie.
All right,
There you are,
guys.
ladies and
Thank you very much, Steve. And Paulie Malignaggi joins me again. Paulie, if Moises Flores dresses like you and goes and stands at the center of that Dallas Cowboy star for 2 hours, he should lose more than a pound and a half. Talk about the cloud of controversy that is following Moises Flores in his last title fight against Guillermo Rigondeaux. Was dropped in the first round. Obviously, the punch landed after the bell. The Nevada State Athletic Commission took a while to see that, but it was ruled a no contest, and then he comes in a pound and a half overweight to challenge Danny Roman.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the Rigondeaux fight, I actually was working it with Sky Sports. It was on the Warden Kovalev undercard. I thought he acted it out a little bit there, but you know, I mean, this morning in the fighter meetings, they told us that he was just looking for the extra 5 minutes. He wasn't looking to win the fight on a DQ, regardless of the fact it was what it was at the end, at day's end. I really think when you get to a certain age, it's harder to make weight. I know this. This morning at the fighter meetings, he was still spitting into a cup to try to make weight. So I got the feeling that he was already, and he didn't look so great to me. I don't know how he looked to you, Mauro, but he didn't look so great to me. Sometimes you get really weak making weight, and then you rehydrate.
Next to me, everybody looks good.
But what I'm saying is, sometimes you kill yourself making weight, but then you rehydrate and you're actually better. Sometimes you don't recover. Here's the thing: he's been trying probably all morning. He's probably been trying all week. So a pound and a half may seem easy, but if you've been trying that much and you're already dry, a pound and a half is very, very difficult to achieve. What I used to do, honestly, there's a lot of heat here. You're right. What I used to do, I used to wear those scuba diving suits. You know, I put on Alboline underneath so your pores open.
Very unhealthy.
Very unhealthy. But, I mean.
I know what you had to do, but that talks about, again, the trials and tribulations of cutting weight.
I think at day's end, I really think, you know, you do what you have to do to make weight and be confident that your body is in shape to take the punishment that you're about to put your body through, you know? Well, for me, fight week was always hellacious, you know? I think now he's down to the last 2 hours. He's determined to make it. I mean,
yeah.
You know, somebody else might say, you know what, I've tried enough, I'm done, find me, whatever. You know, I give him credit because he's determined to still make the weight because he feels he can maybe win the fight. But it's tough. It's not easy.
As right now, Danny Roman is scheduled to, make the second defense of his 122-pound crown if Flores can make weight in the next couple of hours. In many ways, Danny Roman and Errol Spence, similar career trajectories, both having to go overseas to win their respective championships. Roman actually went back to Japan where he won his title for his first title defense. And then Errol Spence went to the bright lights of the Big Apple and faced a former two-division champion, Lamont Peterson, for his first title defense. But let's switch now and talk about the reason we are here for the first time for Showtime Championship Boxing in the Dallas area here at this world-class Dallas Cowboys facility. Errol the Truth Spence making the second defense of his 147-pound title against Carlos Ocampo. Ocampo is the mandatory challenger, Paulie, but kid's 22, has fought his entire career in Mexico, coming off a career-long layoff, and he's facing a man who many people believe could be the heir to the Floyd Mayweather throne when it comes to pound-for-pound king.
Yeah, Errol Spence right now is among the best in the sport in general. You know, I think he has a possibility to become that heir to the throne. You know, there's several guys in boxing.
Sure, Lomachenko, Crawford.
There's several guys in boxing that have a a gripe with that. Obviously, they may think that as well, but I think he's among the best fighters of this generation. The good thing about Ocampo, when you're 22 years old and you're undefeated, and I was like this, obviously, when I was younger. I think a lot of fighters are. Ignorance is bliss. You have a self-belief that is amazing at that age. You're undefeated. You haven't been tested, or you haven't really felt that you can lose. You're probably looking really good in the gym too. Like being that age is awesome, coming up and being undefeated and whatnot. So the only positive thing I can think for Ocampo, because he's got one of the toughest fighters in front of him in the sport. Not just an undefeated world champion, but one of the very best undefeated world champions. I think Ocampo gives it his all. And I think, maybe he can be underestimated a little bit by all of us. Maybe he can be underestimated a little bit by Errol Spence. A guy like Ocampo, you can't take lightly because he has that self-belief, almost that ignorance is bliss self-belief. He'll go out on his shield. He's from Mexico, number one. All those guys go out on their shield. And number two, the age bracket he's in and his record being undefeated, that also causes that extra self-belief at that age. So it could be a good recipe for a decent tussle here.
Errol Spence, overwhelming favorite again. We've already feted him as one of the best. So what does he have to do to ensure his status? I mean, he can't just beat Ocampo. I mean, we saw Terrence Crawford hand Jeff Horner lost last week impressively.
Yeah, you can't take him lightly. You can't take Ocampo lightly. But Ocampo is really, there's a lot of unknown about Ocampo. I think a lot of the reason he's so heavily favored is because nobody knows him. But how are you really going to know a 22-year-old kid from Mexico?
But let's face it, the reason we're here is because it is the Errol Spence show. So what does he have to do to impress you Saturday night?
Well, like I said, he can't underestimate Ocampo. That's number one. You can't underestimate Ocampo. Errol Spence doesn't seem like the kind of guy who underestimates anybody. He always takes a very professional approach to his boxing and to his life in general. So I think at day's end, that risk is out the window because I don't think Errol, you're really running the risk of underestimating Ocampo. My more concern for Spence is probably the hometown, trying to get too distracted with so many ticket requests and just everybody hanging all over you, fight week and whatnot. That can be kind of tough, when you come back as a world champion like that. But I think Errol's got the maturity to really deal with all this. I think he's some guys are just kind of born and bred for this, and Errol seems like that kind of guy. Obviously, attack the body, set up your combination, set up the shots to the head. I'm curious to see how Spence handles this fight. I think every time we see Errol Spence, there's something to be impressed about. He's still improving, which is fun to see about him. And so I like to see the new wrinkles we'll see tomorrow night.
Yeah, Errol Spence Jr., a southpaw, one of the best body punchers in the sport and known for his power. He will make the second defense of his 147-pound championship against mandatory challenger Carlos Ocampo on Saturday night. As of right now, Danny Roman supposed to be making the second title defense of his 122-pound title against Moises Flores, who came in a pound and a half overweight. Flores has less than 2 hours to make that weight. And, of course, we will set the tone for our triple header with what promises to be a barn burner at junior welterweight. It will be Javier Fortuna clashing with Adrian Granados. It is Showtime Championship Boxing coming to you from Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. It gets underway Saturday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, 8 o'clock here in the Lone Star State. We'll see you Saturday for Showtime Championship Boxing.